Hi guys. So in this video we will talk about your social media branding strategy for 2026. Where आप 2026 में if you are running a brand and you need to start with your social media, then आपको क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे start करना चाहिए, everything we're gonna talk about. Okay, so let's start. So first thing, the problem. Most of the people face this very common problem when they are starting with their social media is कि आपको पता है कि आपके ब्रांड को सोशल मीडिया चाहिए एंड यू नीड टू स्टार्ट पुटिंग आउट कंटेंट बट यू डोंट नो कि कौन से सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म को स्टार्ट करना चाहिए क्योंकि इतने सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स है यू हैव इंस्टाग्राम लिंक्डइन यूट्यूब ट्विटर यू हैव सो मेनी सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स बट फ्रॉम विच सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म you should actually start posting you don't know. So one problem is there are too many platforms and you don't know which to go for. एंड कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म से यू शुड स्टार्ट पोस्टिंग ये आपको नहीं पता. सेकंड थिंग इज कि किस टाइप का कंटेंट डालना चाहिए. आपको वीडियोस डालनी चाहिए और यू शुड पोस्ट रील्स, नॉर्मल पोस्ट्स, कराउजल पोस्ट, ट्विटर पोस्ट, लिंक्डइन पोस्ट, क्या करना चाहिए ये भी नहीं पता. सो कैसे शुरू करना है ये भी नहीं पता. यू डोंट नो व्हाट टू स्टार्ट विथ, विच प्लेटफॉर्म टू स्टार्ट विथ, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ कंटेंट टू स्टार्ट विथ. एंड इसी की वजह से अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल नेवर स्टार्ट पुटिंग आउट कंटेंट ऑन सोशल मीडिया. So here, so now we'll talk about कि when you have so many doubts, then what you should actually do. कौन से social media से start करना चाहिए? What type of content you need to put? So the answer is it depends on your business type. Okay. Every social media, whether it's platform, which type of format you need to put, all gets answered from this one single question, जो कि कोई भी नहीं पूछता कि what kind of business you have and what is your goal with your putting out content. आपका main goal क्या है with putting out content. So do you have a B2B business or B2C business? Because there's a very different approach for both the platforms and for both the types of business, because each type of business demands a completely different approach to platform selection, content format, and audience building. Okay. So, first we'll start from the B2B strategy. Okay. So, if you are running a B2B business, whether it's an agency, a consulting business, a service based business, or a SaaS, if your customers need to understand your value before buying, you are B2B. Okay. So, if you are not able to, if your business is more about educating your audience first, then you are in the B2B space, which is mostly with agencies, consulting, service based businesses, even SaaS sometimes. So your entire social media strategy should be built around one principle: educating your audience. Okay. And when you need to educate your audience, it's always long form content. सिंपल सी बात है, यू कैन नॉट सेल B2B सर्विसेज विद अ 15-second क्लिप, बिकॉज 15 सेकंड में कोई भी कन्विंस नहीं होने वाला टू बाय योर सर्विसेज. सपोज इफ यू आर रनिंग अ कंसल्टिंग बिजनेस, नो वन वुड कन्विंस टू बाय, नो वन वुड कन्विंस टू गेट अ कंसल्टिंग paid consulting from you until or unless he or she is finally convinced. So to convince them, you need to educate them, and for educating them, it won't be a 15-second thing. Okay. So you cannot sell B2B services with a 15-second clip. Your buyers are intelligent professionals who need context, proof, and trust. So in B2B space, most of your buyers are also other businesses. So they know what they are buying. So they need conviction. And the best way to convince them is educating them through your long form content. And when we talk about long form, especially in educating them, then there are only two platforms you should start with. It's either YouTube or LinkedIn. Okay. So YouTube is the best long form content platform. Because why it is the best long form content platform? Because it works as the content multiplier. Because one long form video creates a cascade of content across every platform. For most B2B businesses, this is a powerful top of funnel choice. So what happens is कि एक ही YouTube video can be repurposed into a short form reel. उसी long form video से आप clips निकाल के reels डाल सकते हो. Same long form YouTube video के transcript निकाल के you can generate LinkedIn post, Twitter tweets, and even carousel posts for your Instagram. So that is why YouTube works as the strongest top of funnel concept. but obviously it can't be worked for every niche or every industry. But for it, but जिन industries के लिए ये work करता है, it's very powerful choice. So a 20-minute deep dive on your area of expertise becomes four distinct pieces of content. Like if you create a 20-minute educational video around your business or around your service, around your concepts, then that thing can be repurposed into four distinct pieces of content: a LinkedIn post, a Twitter thread, an Instagram reel, and a carousel. So, example here, a long form, insightful content educates your audience in detail about why what you do matters to them. The foundation of B2B trust. The best way YouTube content works is you educating them in the long form videos and telling them why what you do matters to them. So this is how YouTube content works. Now, the LinkedIn content. When you when your industry's decision makers already consume content here daily, LinkedIn may be more powerful than YouTube for your specific niche. So again, it depends on industry to industry. But for some industries, LinkedIn works better than YouTube. That is why on LinkedIn, long form posts, LinkedIn newsletters, and document carousels are your primary tools. Thought leadership that demonstrates deep expertise. It also depends on your interest, because for some people writing is writing content is more or more suitable for them than creating content on videos. Some people are good at writing, so they should go for LinkedIn, and people who are good at explaining their concepts around videos, they should go for YouTube. But overall, it also depends on the industry which you are in. Okay, so if your ideal client hangs out on LinkedIn more, then LinkedIn is the place for you. So study what your competitors are publishing, find the gap, the angle they are not covering, and own it completely. So this is a key tip, or this is a cheat tip, that look at your competitors, what kind of content they are putting out on LinkedIn, then find your unique edge and just double down on it. Okay. Now, owning the attention. This is very important. So what happens is कि लोग बहुत सारे लोग सिर्फ कंटेंट डालते रहते हैं, but they never own the attention. So the critical warning is social media platforms own your audience, not you. So if you even have a big audience on YouTube, then that audience is of YouTube, not yours. People consume YouTube and then they watch you. They are not owning, you haven't owned their attention directly. So this is what happens. Instagram can ban your account tomorrow. YouTube can demonetize your channel overnight. And when you post on any social platform, you are renting their attention. Okay. When you put out content on YouTube and the views you are getting, you are renting YouTube for your own attention. It's not you're not owning that attention. So the platform holds the lease. This is why your social media presence must always direct traffic to somewhere where you actually control that attention. Got it? You do not own your social media followers. You are building on the rented land. Try to understand this thing. So you need to own the attention of your audience. And that can't be done on the social media platforms where you are putting out the content. So here are the own channels. Direct your social media traffic to channels you actually own, where no algorithm or platform policy can take your audience away. Things like newsletters. It's your privately owned channel. You have the emails of the people, and from there you own their attention. Email list, okay, same thing, like private communication, you own those audiences attention. Private community, WhatsApp or Slack group, in these places you own their attention. And the Instagram's algorithm is not dependent on the success, because these people attention you have owned. So always use lead magnets to collect emails. Give real value, a free resource, a template or guide in exchange for their contact details. This always outperforms a bare call to action, because viewers is getting something tangible in return. So in your social media post, like on your LinkedIn or YouTube, a lot of people just directly try to pitch their service at the end of their content, which sometimes doesn't work. So that is why providing something in return as a value, as a lead magnet, can be much better. Okay. So you can always provide them with the value. Like in your CTAs, you can tell them that I am giving you this free resource, and in the return of that free resource, you can take their attention, or you can make them join your group, or make them join your newsletter. So that is a softer ask than just directly telling them to go there and just join your group or join your newsletter, because no one would like to do that. There's always need to be providing, but there's always some kind of value need to be provided in return. So that is very important. So this is in nutshell your B2B content funnel. On top of the funnel, you put out the long form content, whether it's on YouTube, LinkedIn, okay, long, insightful educational content. Once you've done that, you give them a CTA of free lead magnet, provide them with some free valuable resource in end of your content, and in exchange of that, ask for email address, ask for their email, and from there you can obviously own their attention on newsletter or private community, whatever you works for your niche. Okay. And then from there, once they are in your community, from there you can pitch your services or product or whatever you are trying to sell. Okay. So always own their attention first and then try to sell them. Cool. So another pro tip, study your competitors, find a content that is working in your niche, identify the gap they're not covering, and double down on that. Your edge is your differentiator. Okay. As I have already mentioned this. Now, working on the B2C strategy. Okay. This is for the D2C brands, e-commerce, consumer products, lifestyle brands. Here, you don't need to educate more. Your job is to build an identity so powerful that people feel something when they see your logo. Every post is building perception. Got it? So in B2C, it's more about building the perception around your brand. So this is a very famous quote by Alex Hormozy. He said, brand is the association people have about you in their mind. So your social media does not sell products directly. It builds the mental associations that make people choose you, often without even knowing why. Okay. So the core principles, if you are running a D2C or B2C brand, is the aesthetics plus perception. Build associations, not just content. Okay. So I'll explain this in detail, but this is for now. So for example, what does brand associations means? This is what I was coming into. जब कोई भी तुम्हारे ब्रांड के बारे में सोचता है, so what they do associate it with. So for example, Nike. Whenever people think of Nike, they think of athletes, victory, performance, just do it, their slogan. Whenever someone thinks of Apple, they think of premium, simplicity, status. Okay. So these are the associations you make with your brand. Okay. So Apple's minimal, precise aesthetic communicates premium quality before you even see the product. So this is their visual identity. Okay, their visual identity is the brand. Every post reinforces this. This is for people who value the best. So once you know what your brand stands for, because a lot of new brands don't know what they stand for. Once you know what you stand for, and you just need to associate your content around those values. Does that make sense? So every Nike post hammers the same three associations: athletic greatness, pushing limits, performance. So Nike knows that their brand's association or their brand stands for performance and athletes. So their every content is around performance and athletes. Apple knows that their brand stands for premium and simplicity. So their every content stands for that same values of premiumness and simplicity through their content. Okay. So this is the thing. In the B2C brand, you should know what you stand for. So even before you post a single thing, define your three core brand association. What do you want people to feel, think, and say when they see your brand? Okay. This is not about your product features. It is about the emotional and the psychological territory you want to own in your consumer's mind. Okay. And once you know what your brand stands for, then it's very easy. Then you just need to repeat those associations in every content. Every post, every video, every story, every caption must reinforce your core associations without exception. Okay. Consistency applied over time is the only strategy that builds a real brand. There are no shortcuts. The repetition is that work. So once you start doing this, you will start noticing that people start recognizing your brand with those associations. And they will start seeing things like, this is so your brand. This is the signal that your brand is being built. So once people start associating your brand with your values, that is the time you realize that you are building the actual brand. For B2C brands, aesthetics are not direction, they are your brand. Every image, font, and color choice communicates your association, even when words are not present. So, this is what D2C brands need to do. So, this is what I have covered for B2B and D2C as well. So, the framework is clear, the path is defined. The only thing left is to ship the first piece of content. So on the when you if you are in the B2B path, pick YouTube or LinkedIn as your top of funnel. As I mentioned, create long form educational content consistently. Educate your audience on why what you do matters. Use lead magnets to collect email addresses, or use lead magnets to make them join your community on WhatsApp or wherever it is, and build your own audience through a newsletter or community. And from there, deliver soft pitches for your service or product. This converts far higher than cold social media. Understood? For D2C, as I mentioned, you need to define your three core brand associations before you post anything. Know exactly what you want to own in your consumer's mind. Can create content that reinforces those associations with every post, every video, every story, no exceptions. Repeat this relentlessly, and you will see that people are actually knowing or being aware of your brand. So, consistency over time is the only strategy that builds a genuine brand identity. Watch for this signal. When people use your own associations to describe you, this is when you know it is working. Okay. So that is it for this video. I hope this video helped you. And if you like this, then make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day.